dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the sexy ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Summer Blockbuster 2025 AEW 4 hours. 4 hours for life. So my stupid DVR did not record the Dynamite portion of this special. It did record the Collision portion of this special, which I was like, okay, well, now I got to piece together the entire thing, which wasn't too hard. I'm glad that AEW has finally come to the light of doing highlight videos, which usually is a big, big help, especially when you're trying to get the podcast rolling and all that good stuff. But I got to see a majority of Swerve versus Will on TikTok because people were posting it up like crazy maneuvers and stuff like that. I gotta say, Swerve versus Will to open the show was a match. I mean, these guys, this is what I come to AEW for. Exactly this. Swerve versus Will Ospreay. You know what you're gonna get. And you just got to enjoy every minute of it. And what I could see and what I was watching, man, I was like, oh, shit, boom, boom, boom. But to end in the draw, I was like, you know what? I really don't like endings like this, but I do like it for these two. I feel like either person should not lose this match. And the fact that we got to the 30-minute draw, then we had the Mox cult come out, but then the Bucks came out. They tied up Swerve in the corner. And before they were going to super kick him, Will sacrificed himself, and he got kicked in the face with those spiked shoes and everything like that. You know, it was what's crazy. He just falls right into the arms of Swerve because he made that sacrifice for his friend. I thought that was really cool. But match of the night, though, this is definitely this match, Swerve and Will 2. I hope we get Swerve and Will 3 at some certain point, and the Bucks will answer for their sins. Our founding fathers, that is. Yes. Then we have Mystico versus Blake. Fun. Mystico gets the win over Blake. But MJF comes out and challenges Mystico, I believe, next week. And, of course, the Hurt Syndicate's right behind them. And we get big old fights and this and that. And then it ends up versus the Hurt Syndicate versus Speedball Knight and Dorada. And the Hurt Syndicate get the win. And that was okay. It was funny. I like the fact that MJF is wearing a different color shirt than everybody else in the Hurt Syndicate. Just saying that. Hangman Adam Page is supposed to come out and talk to us, but he's attacked. The Mox cult got him. They bring him to the ring. They duct tape his mouth. We are really doing some cinematic shit here because it's a summer blockbuster, brother. But they got Hangman, and, you know, of course, here comes Joe, then the rest of the ops, and to set him free and this and that because they're about to break Hangman's neck. And Hangman grabs the mic, and he's like, that's all you got? Is that all you got, you son of a bitch? If that's the best you can give, then I can take more because I am on some cowboy-ish. Yeah, Hangman's not backing down. He's after Mox, and he's our cowboy knight in shining armor to finally bring back the AEW championship that's being held hostage by this insane lunatic called Mox. And we got a meme from Mox out of this. I didn't do it. Tay and Jay versus Megan and Penelope. I was surprised that Tay and Jay got the win. I just feel like we're wasting Megan Bayne at this point. I really do. I feel like Megan Bayne deserves to get another title shot at some certain point. So, yeah. Okada and Omega contract signing. We got another championship. The United Championship. I was going to laugh my ass off. They're like, the Intercontinental Championship for AEW. You know, it's called the United Championship after Okada and Omega are going to make history and go toe-to-toe. Winner takes all. I mean, it's this title that's on the line right here. But, of course, you know, the contract signing, let's leave it all in that ring. They shake hands. Don Callis comes out. And Kenny's like, we know your tricks. We know all your tricks. And he goes, do you, though? But do you? Do you really? And here comes Okada. He attacks him. And, of course, a constant gut punch, you know, elbow drop on the gut because of what happened to Kenny and when he got sick and stuff like that. So they really play that up to the point to where he got on a stretcher, and then Okada came down on his gut another time, and then Kenny just started spitting up pure red blood. Just I was like, oh my God. Sell it, Kenny. Jesus Christ. And he's just spitting it all out. So, what does this mean? Does this mean he's not going to be on TV until All In? You know what I mean? This is going to be one of those things where Okada comes out and he's just waiting. Then he's like, count him out and I'll be the new champion. Then Omega comes out. Then we get a big pop. Like, what was the point of this? Like, what was the point of, like, destroying Kenny so bad he was spitting up blood? Is he just being written off TV until July? We shall see. Oh, yeah, Kyle Fletcher versus Anthony. Good match for what it was. Archer took out Daddy, but Kyle Fletcher got the win, rightfully so. I just don't care for Anthony Bowens at the moment. I think he's really talented. I think Max is really talented, but I feel like they should just bring back the Acclaimed. I feel like these two on their solo runs are not really doing so great. But then we get FTR and Atlantis Jr.'s in the ring. And, you know, FTR, they challenge them because we have Grand Slam Mexico, I believe, that's coming up on the horizon. And they start fighting. They're about to take out Atlantis. But then here comes Adam Cole. And here comes Brody. And here comes everybody else in the kitchen sink. But Atlantis Jr.'s took on Dax, man. I was like, all right, let's get this match. Atlantis and Atlantis Jr. versus FTR. Yes, boy! Then we get Toni Storm versus Julia. But Mercedes Moné is eating again. A buffet of sorts. Outside the ring, Toni kind of gets in her face. But, of course, here comes Julia and her homie Sky. They attack. I did not like Julia's gear in this, the green gear. I was like, it's not you, Julia. Like, the red and black, like, that just seems more your vibes and not this neon green. But, of course, they attack Toni, but Toni does get the win over Julia. Then, of course, her Mercedes Moné comes in, gives her a big sniff. You smell good, Toni. And beats her up. Then here comes Mina, because Mina's still in the picture, you know. So we're going to keep building this. Well, is that just all Moné's going to do is just eat fake food outside the ring for every Toni match? You know, she's got the little buffet. Is that just going to be a thing? I hope not. But we have the Conglomeration versus MXM and Taya. This was awesome. I enjoyed this very much. I enjoyed this night a lot, you know, from what I saw. Because the DVR did record the Collision side of things, and that was right when they were doing the contract signing between Okada and Omega. So I got to enjoy the rest of the show. The other rest of the show I had to just kind of piece together. There was Bandito versus Beast. Don't care. But Tekla versus Queen. I was not really sold on Tekla the first time, and that against Lady Frost was like, okay, you know, she does some spooky, weird, moving around styles in the ring. What else? But no, I think this match kind of showcased them. Okay, I'm interested. I'm sold. Give me more Tekla then. But Tekla did beat Queen in this really cool, like, a submission that she has. I don't know the name of it because, like I said, I'm fairly new to her, and I had somebody be like, well, if you don't like wrestling, why aren't you following all of the... I'm like, because I want somewhat of a life. And I have other interests too. But Tekla, I want to see more. But Hangman and the Bucks are backstage. Hangman tells them, like, hey, stay out of my business and stay out of Swerve's business. And Nana's peeking his head around, and after they go, Nana goes to Swerve and says, did you hear that, boss? Swerve's like, yeah, I heard every minute of it. But that just means, like, Hangman is winning Swerve over a little bit more. I think that's all it is. He's just winning him, so Swerve, Hangman, and Will can take on the Mox cult together. Now we go into our main event. The Paragon and Daniel Garcia versus Dawn Family and Hechicero. Chaos as usual. Fun. Just go balls out, but the Don Callis family and Hechicero get the win. And that is Summer Blockbuster 2025. My match of the night is still Will versus Swerve. Hopefully they put that whole match online, or I can just go, you know what? I just thought about it. I'm a freaking dumbass. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Max. Because I usually record this on Sling. Oh, my God. Here, I did all this detective work for nothing. Well, I'll just go rewatch the show and then enjoy that first couple hours that I missed. So, but like I said, I had to piece a lot of it together through TikTok and through YouTube and the 12-minute recap or whatever. But I got to see the rest of the show starting from Okada and Omega on. All right, y'all. I honestly give this a good, solid 4 out of 5. Summer blockbuster, bringing the hits. Ian, Taz, and Excalibur on commentary. I don't know why Tony's not really on commentary anymore. But Adam Cole jumps on commentary halfway through the show during Collision part of it. Wondering what's up with that. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Match of the night, Swerve and Will. Moment of the night. For some reason, Mercedes Moné sniffing Tony. Getting a whiff. All right, y'all. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit the subscribe. Should we get more of these kind of shows? 4 hours of AEW madness for the sickos. Drop those comments below. Hit that like and subscribe. Share it to grandma. Share it to grandma. Share the bum down in Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life.
Ospreay vaults, finds his feet, and now comes back through Tijeras. Swerve had the Tijeras scouted. Oh, but Ospreay reversed both men springing.